Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Universal Journeys Radio with your hosts, Dr. Brenda L. Bates and Donnie Winter. Follow your heart, for only you know which path is right for you. Universal Journeys Radio is about how spirituality intersects with nearly every other aspect of our lives, even when we do not see it or realize it. Creativity and expression are our connections to the spiritual energy many seek to understand, and our identity is forged through this process. Universal Journey seeks to help illuminate the different intersections between creativity, spirituality, and identity in order to empower and enlighten. And tonight our topic is Anything Goes, since we have, I think it's 5 Sundays in May, so we have a second night of that. And our call-in number is 347-850-8292. So if you want to call in with a question or want to participate in our discussion, feel free to do so. Good evening, Brenda, dear.
Good evening, and welcome.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. It was a beautiful day today. I couldn't ask for more, except for maybe a little warmer. But other than that, it is great. Like Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, it is
So, is there anything that we wanted to discuss before we get into the calls?
I say let's jump into our callers first right off the bat, because I see we have a couple of them waiting.
Okay, you betcha. Here we go. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Happy Sunday. I know. Well, I've never called in before. Can I ask a question? You said you can ask questions? Okay. Well, yeah, I didn't know. Okay. I know. I'm like, oh my, I didn't know I'd be the first one. Well, my question to you is, I want to see what you look for me if I'm going to be finding employment in the near future. Oh, it's been a struggle.
Let's start out with your name first.
It's Sharon. I'm sorry. My name's Sharon.
Sharon. Okay.
I'm calling from Ohio, if that... Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. What are you getting, Donnie?
I feel as though you need to take a break for a while.
I've done that. I've been looking for work for almost a year now. I cannot. Oh my God, I'm so stressed.
Well, instead of taking a break, I think maybe what I'm feeling is that you need to look into something different from what you're used to looking into, because I get a distinct feeling that there is a specific type of job that you like or that you would prefer, but I think there's something out there that's open near you that you're not taking into consideration yet, or it will pop up in the very near future. And if it does pop up to you, definitely take that into consideration into pursuing that employment opportunity, even though it may not seem like one that you would normally pursue.
Interesting, yeah, because I've always had a good job. I've just had such a trouble. I just didn't think it was going to take this long. It's just unbelievable. I have been looking to the left because I do have the skills. I know. I have been doing that the past 3 or 4 months. So, go on. What else do you see? I'm just discouraged. Go on.
Well, Sharon,
Brenda, what do you see?
Was your career field that you just left or left a year ago, was that really your passion? Was that something you really liked doing?
I enjoyed it a lot. I did. Yes, I love it. Yes, I did. It was really the environment. That's what it is. The work I liked, it was the environment in that particular company. But I was there a year, but the job before that I was at 10 years. So I've always been in the same. Yeah, but go on.
Okay. So, are you expecting the next position to be like your last position in the environment? Because that's what it feels like.
No.
You got a hindrance there. Okay?
I know, not at all.
Okay, because that kind of feels that's a little bit that's going on there. It's like you're trying to, because the environment was such a dynamic environment. There's much more. There are better there's much more out
which
there.
Which I've been looking. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just haven't landed the right one yet. But yes, I am looking elsewhere in other places, other even backgrounds. You know what I mean? Yes, I have that.
Take a step back. That's because it feels like the energy that you've put into it, and I have to agree with Donnie a little bit, is take a step back, because what you're doing is you're going in with so much force that you want this or want a job like this, and you're overpowering that particular ability to let things manifest for you. So it doesn't mean take a vacation or anything, but it means just to step back from that energy a little bit and allow the other creative part of you and it to focus and move around so it can get you to where you need to be. It doesn't feel like it's going to be that far down the road that you're going to find this, but because you're out there and you've got your hands literally going, give me, grab, that a lot of times will push things away from you. So if you rein that energy in just a little bit and allow it to come into fruition, you're going to have a job here quicker than what you think when you do that.
Definitely.
And I would say by the end of the summer, you'll find that you'll find a job, or a job will come into your focus.
That's not that far away, actually.
No, it's not. But you have to stop trying to grab at things, and it's just energy grab. That's all. That's what I mean by that. But allow it to happen. And that's what I mean. Just step back a little bit. Allow the energy to clear from that I want, I need, and just relax and say, okay, we're going to go with the flow here. We're going to let it happen.
I know.
Put it out there, God. Say, okay. Yep.
You just get in panic mode. You know what I mean? Oh, my gosh.
No.
Yeah, and remember, the fact that you don't have a job isn't your fault either, because I know the economy being the way it is, I mean, it's improving slowly, but a lot of people internalize that negative feeling of being unemployed as if it's their own identity that is making them not employed. And I don't really think specifically that's how you feel, but it's very easy to fall into that when you get very paranoid, okay? Because when you start getting that sense of angst, that tends to pull you in a bunch of different unintended directions. So just make sure you keep your path
head clear,
straightforward and clear.
Anything else?
Not at this time. Just like I said, step back, allow the things to happen. Don't panic. Don't freak out. Don't grab. And once you do that and you relax, it's going to come into your peripheral vision. So you'll be able to see it. It'll be there.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You are most welcome. Thanks, Sharon.
Have a nice evening, okay?
You too.
Thank
you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, this is Laura.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. What can we do for you?
I'm looking for a job, and I want to buy a house this year, so I'm wondering now if that's going to be doable since I don't have a job now, because I really need to find a job quick. A good one, though.
Okay.
So I'm looking for the right job.
Okay. What are you feeling on this one, Brenda, dear?
Well, what I'm feeling is, and I know you need something really quick and stuff like that, but the universe and God doesn't necessarily work on the quickness, okay? Now, how long has it been since you've been out of work?
Just a couple weeks.
Okay. And I'm just going to ask you a couple questions because I'm not really getting anything. So, and what made you leave this particular job?
They ran out of budget.
Okay.
Interesting.
They ran out of budget.
Well, I'm getting the feeling that this is going to be a situation where you're going to need to ask for some assistance, like some help from people close to you. And I think that's the obstacle that you need to get through first, because if you do want a house, like I don't necessarily believe that a person needs to have a job to have one specifically at first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in order to maintain that, it's important to have a steady income. But if you are really looking to move into a different place, I sincerely feel that it's important for you to reach out and see if anyone's willing to help you.
Well, I'm not going to be able to get a home anyways through a mortgage company without the job. The job has to come first, regardless of whether somebody helps me and my family with a down payment.
That's very true.
This is
so
true.
I still need the job. So do you see me getting a job soon?
Well, you're almost like the last caller there with the energy of like, okay, I got to grasp this because I want to get a house and stuff like that. And then when you do that and the job comes up, you're going to grab at something that you may not even be liking later on.
Well, I don't want to do that.
Issue with
that's not.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm.
Yeah, you don't want
to
do that.
I'm not willing to do that because I actually did
Yep.
that with this last job. I really don't want to do that. I do want the right job with the right people. And if it means I can't get my house this year, then so be it. I mean, I'm not going to be making a foolish move to get my house because in the end I'll lose my house. So that's not right. I want to make a really good decision and a good choice with the job that's coming my way. I just would like to know when that's coming, or if you see what kind of a job that would be. What industry?
Right. The thing is I see this is the deal. It feels like you have to move out of the area that you're in right now in order to be able to get a job that you're looking for. The question is, as you said, any job, so that means you're not focused on a particular job, which makes it even harder for something to manifest.
Well, I'm looking for a job in my field. So
what's your field?
I develop training. And I also manage training programs, or change management as well. So it's going to be something in that line of work. So that's what I've been looking for.
Believe it or not, there's a lot of trainers that are actually out of jobs. I was doing a reading last night for a gal, and she was doing the same thing. I mean, she's still at a job, but she's like, I'm a trainer and stuff like that. And like, man, what's going on here? So. You ever thought about starting your own business?
I also write some programs.
You off what?
I write the training as well. I'm more of I have a degree in writing and putting together the training programs. I don't just get up in front of a class and train it. In fact, I usually am on the other end of it, writing the training for the trainer.
So you're more of a technical writer then?
A technical writer is not what I do. Technical writer is usually I work from the technical writer's specs and also there's a whole bunch of people I work with, and a technical writer is one of them.
Oh, okay.
You ever go see a headhunter?
Yeah, they contact me all the time. It's okay if you're not picking up anything. Something will come along, I'm sure. Well,
and that's the thing is like you're in limbo right now, and there's things that you have to put in place before you get to where you're going. And now, if I can finish what I was going to say earlier, is I see you getting a house toward the end of the year. Now, with that said, that goes hand in hand with the job, but not in the area that you're in. So my thing is to put out your resumes to as many places as you can, to many different organizations as you can for what you want to get into, and then go for the gusto. Right now, there's so many variables that I'm not picking up on one certain thing. because you do so many different things. What it is for you, you have to figure out and focus on the one thing that you truly love to do. All of this stuff, I'm telling everybody right now, it's your passion. You have to follow your passion. Just don't get a job to make money. This is all about passion year. This is a passion year. Find your passion, do it. If you have to do your own business, do your own business. But at least it's going to be your passion.
You see me in a different area. You're saying out of state somewhere?
I didn't say out of state, but I am saying a different area. You're not going to be in the city that you're working in or that you're living in.
Okay.
I don't know if you thought about that or not, but that's not in the cards right now, especially when you should be following your passion. If this is your line of work and this is what you really, truly love to do, then follow that wherever it leads you. And again, you have to be open for that. Because it's going to fall in your, believe it or not, it's going to fall in your lap, and you're going to like, is this really it? Like, yeah.
Okay.
And
thank you.
And your strength right now is knowing what your priority is, because you know that you want to have the job before you have a new home. So I think, take that confidence that you have and that realization and move yourself forward into searching for new jobs. And and I agree with Brenda that it's probably going to be out of the specific area that you're in. And I think it might be, I really get the distinct feeling that it also is going to be something that you may not anticipate, like a job opening that'll open up that will surprise you. So if you see that, definitely pursue that.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day. Bye.
You too.
You too.
Okay. So, yeah.
It's very interesting.
Go ahead.
Go first, Brenda.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say it's very interesting how many people are struggling to find jobs right now. And I can honestly say that I think the thing that holds a lot of people back is a thread of insecurity running within them. Because when we lose a job, we internalize that. I've internalized before, and we end up, in a way, blaming ourselves, and while we're blaming ourselves, we're insistently trying to pursue a new job, regardless what it is, when in fact we should just take a step back for a moment and examine the situation and be like, okay, this was not my fault. I didn't lose my job because of some flaw within me. I need to take that and then go out there and take that energy, and instead of internalizing pain, use it for a good purpose and find something new.
Well, what I am noticing lately, especially this year, is a lot of people who don't have a job, there's a particular reason for that. And it's because they're not really working in their passion. And if they're working in their passion, maybe they should be working for themselves to take that next step up, to become an owner. I did that. And I'm like loving what I'm doing. But it's still scary to do that.
Yeah.
And most people are not realizing, like, hey, if this is something that you want to do, you step into that. And a lot of the other thing, too, that I'm noticing is people are being closed-minded or narrow-minded with the opportunities that they have available in front of them. They think that it's, okay, well, this one's not quite what I want, or that one's not quite what I want, and maybe rightfully so. But you know something? One of those little ideas, is the right one. And the thing is figuring out what it is. Because if you miss an opportunity, it's going to be a little bit before you get the next opportunity. There's one going to come back around, but sometimes you have to step out of your own box.
And, another interesting thing is people convince themselves that they're doing what they're passionate about.
Yeah.
I remember when I worked retail, I was like, I could see myself, rising up and, doing something managerial and, staying in retail. And then I realized, this is not what I like to do. Like, we fool ourselves because we're afraid of ascending to our full potential. And I think people need to realize that take risks. It's okay to take risks. If something happens and you're not the one winning at the end, then learn from the situation and take that information and use it the next time you take a risk in getting a job. And I can honestly say I have never been happier until now, and when I'm actually trying to do what I want to do, what I enjoy. In fact, I am doing what I enjoy doing. So.
Right. The other thing too is people don't realize in their job position that they're in, right now or have been in, that they have connections within that organization or people that they connected while in that organization that they could tap into. Okay, once you make friends with someone, those friends more than likely will steer you to some other job because they hear openings. Use that. Take that, in advantage and go for the gusto.
I definitely agree.
It's like they're not taking those opportunities to do that. So they're wondering, woe me.
It all centers on discouragement and that paranoia, that desire, that insatiable desire to get a job, any job, is what pushes job opportunities away.
Right.
So, if someone finds themselves in that kind of situation, they need to take a deep breath and balance themselves and examine the situation objectively and find a solution with flow.
Absolutely. And it goes back to taking responsibility for your own actions. I mean, that's huge. That's a huge one right there. I hear a lot of people saying, oh, no, I'm not. Oh, no. Well, that's not necessarily what the energies are telling us. They're telling us something totally different. So, and that also tells us that you're being a little closed and you need to open up a little bit to get other stuff that's happening and flying around you.
Exactly. And see, another thing is, when it comes to losing a job, people are always listening to the people around them who are telling them, oh, you need a job, you need to get a job now. You need to do this immediately. If you don't do this, you are horrible and unsuccessful and yada, yada, yada. And we get lost in other people's wishes for us. Like, we're always listening to what people want for us. But instead, we need to be listening to our own inner selves and what we actually want. Because, I can guarantee you can get any job out there, but I can tell you're not going to be happy unless you're doing something that you want, that you're destined to do, that you have specialty for,
Yeah, and sometimes these things are really, really get you to step back and say, what is my passion? And this is something that we need to really think about is what are our passions? And find that out, figure it out. Maybe it isn't in the career field that you actually, studied for or went to college for or whatever. Maybe it isn't that. Maybe it's something totally different. Maybe it's something that you did when you were young, and it's coming back around. That's another theme for this year. Things seem to be coming back into our peripherals and back into our life from somewhere else. From the past. Past loves, past jobs, type of jobs, bringing up different incidences that happened when we were younger or similar to say, okay, is this something that you might think about doing or want to get back into doing? And it's just that coming back around energy. And we really have to think about it. Some of it we may say, no, I'm not going back into there because that's a lesson you learned. That's fine. And we need to do that because we're the ones who set our own standards.
Exactly. And another thing is I've noticed that people, I've noticed this mostly people who are in their 40s and 50s. If something happens and they lose a job, they immediately tell themselves that they can't go back and learn something new or actually reassess themselves and discover what their passion actually is. I have seen people who've lost their job and then just worked the rest of their life as a Walmart grader and they were completely miserable because that's not what they wanted to do. And my point is, it doesn't matter how old you are. Just because if you're in your 40s and 50s, that doesn't mean you don't have dreams and aspirations and passions.
Right.
You're just ignoring them because you feel as though pursue them because that time has passed, when in fact it hasn't.
I can tell you because when I was 50 and I had quit a job when I was 49, when I was 50, I was feeling the same way. It's like, oh man, no one's going to hire me because I'm old, and older because, they want all the newer, younger kids. And I actually put myself in a situation where I thought that I wasn't going to be hireable. And that's further from the truth. We are all hireable. And we just need to get out of that mindset. And I was grateful. And because you have, what do they call it, equal opportunity out there. And they have to hire you. Okay, one way or the other. They cannot discriminate against age. And when I did take that step and I said, okay, well, I'm going to do this anyways, I received a job. I got the job. And the other thing, too, the people are looking for maturity because they're finding out that the younger generation doesn't necessarily have the responsibility or the dependability that the older generation has or possesses. And so don't count yourself out. Just keep going forward. And then, don't knock yourself down because you think you're too old to get a job, a good job. That's further from the truth. With that said, we are going to go on a break, and we're going to listen to some Nickelback. Here we go. We'll be back after the break. And welcome back to Universal Journeys Radio with your hosts, Dr. Brenda L. Bates and Donnie Winter. Follow your heart, for only you know which path is right for you. Our telephone number is 347-850-8292. And before I get far too long here, I'm going to do some advertising for our network here called Mystical Awakenings Radio. Let's see, we have 4 different radio programs here on Mystical Awakenings Radio. And on Monday nights, we have Beyond Smoke and Mirrors from 7 to 9. On Tuesday nights, starting on June 9th, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to have Sacred Journeys from 7 to 9. And on Wednesday nights, we have Mystical Awakenings Radio with Deb DeRoos and Deb Markham. And then on Friday nights from 7 to 9, we have True Paranormal. So if you get a chance, get out there, check them out, because they are awesome. So, Donnie, here we are.
Yes. Yay, my turn. Okay. So if you enjoy listening to our show and you would like to follow us on Facebook, go to facebook.com and type in /Universal Journeys 111 and you will find our Facebook page. It is a delightful picture of Dr. Brenda and I, so it's hard to miss because we're so fabulous. And if you're already on Facebook and you just type in Universal Journeys into the search bar on Facebook, that's another way you can find us. Also, we are now on YouTube, so if you go to YouTube and you type in Universal Journeys, you should be able to find our page. Please subscribe to us because we will be posting edited versions of our videos online there, which will make it easy for people who aren't tuning in specifically at the time that we're airing at the moment. So, yes, visit our social media and follow us. Back to you, Brenda.
All right. Before we went on break, we had a question or a discussion from Dove for Peace, Lisa. From last week, she came back, and she has. I spoke with the ladies and Donnie last week in regards to a room. Well, the room is open again. I went to see a room yesterday. We spoke on the phone. It seems to be a connection. Yep. But when we saw each other, it wasn't like that. She is an empathic, or she's an empath, and a massage therapist. She started reading me, which made me very uncomfortable. I didn't like it. So now she emailed me telling me she felt a child around me. So, yeah.
That is very uncomfortable. Yeah. May I say something, Brenda? Because
sure.
I have had people do this to me before, where you just encounter them and they're just like, oh, this is what I feel, without asking permission to, probe my aura or my spirit or whatever. And I just wanted to say that is very disrespectful and unprofessional of someone to do. I don't care how impassioned they are. It's important to ask a person their permission first before you try to read them, because I mean, what if there's something personal that someone doesn't intend to reveal, but a reader or an empath reads it without taking into consideration that fact? Like, I just think that's very, very potentially harmful to the individual being read.
Right. I have to agree. The other thing too is, don't forget you have a certain control with this as well. Okay, you can tell that person, please don't do that. You are in control. So if an individual says that, starts saying stuff like that, you really need to say, I'm uncomfortable with that. Please don't. If I want to know something, then I will ask. And they should. Sometimes they don't.
And it's very interesting, Lisa, that this happened, that room opened up again, and you ended up meeting this person, because it goes to show you that some people, while they seem to have good intentions, can be moderately deceptive.
Right.
So, I can honestly feel that if you move into that room, that this person who just arbitrarily read you without permission would be giving off a lot of empathic energy on top of the negativity in that room that would interfere with your life, and you don't want that to happen, because if that aspect of your life is being interfered with, it'll start permeating into other aspects of your life.
Was it the first room, or was this a different room here?
I think from what she said, that it's the same room.
Okay. Because if it's the same room, I still say don't go there. If it's a different room, then I say to stand your ground and say, look, if I take this room, then I don't want to be read all the time. But then again, you also need to put your guard up so that you won't be infected or affected by her energy.
Mm-hmm. And remember, Lisa, last time we also
this was a different room.
We also briefly talked about your own intuition and how you picked up on that kind of sense of discomfort. Well, I mean, it proves that your intuition is stronger than you give it credit for, because, I mean, at first you seemed to get a good feeling from this woman until you met her in person, and then you started realizing it, and that your intuition was telling you this is not right. So I think it's important that you continue to listen to your intuition. And she said in the chat box that this was a different room. And if it is a different room, that's totally okay. I guess the only thing that you would need to do is to just establish with this person that you're not okay with them reading you without your permission first, because because
establish
that's not
boundaries.
Appropriate.
Yeah, and truthfully, I feel that this room may be a good room for you because she is empathic, so she wouldn't deal with all that. But if you do take it, you have to set boundaries with her. And that's the big thing, is like setting boundaries. And people, you got to do that. You have to do that with everybody. You have to set your boundaries. I don't care if you're not empathic or not. People have to know You have to set your boundaries. That you have boundaries. Because if you don't set your boundaries of what you will accept and what you will not accept, they're going to run you over.
Definitely.
Or they're going to harm you in some way. That's right. So, Lisa, if you can set your boundaries with this girl or this gal, then by all means take the place. But you got to set your boundaries. And it might be that you're the first person in a long time that's come into her life that she can actually talk to about this stuff. And that's another thing, too. Because people do that. They're like, oh, my gosh, you get this stuff and all that. And they get excited about it. But the thing is you have to set your boundaries. You have to set your boundaries and say, okay, even if you have to make like a date night, okay, we'll say that. If you have to make a date night, say, okay, we can discuss something like this for 2 hours, on a certain day, and that's it. The rest of the time, we have to be normal, because I need my space, you need your space, and stuff like that. But the place with this woman, though, you might be able to learn a lot from her, truthfully. But again, you have to set your boundary, and once you set your boundary, I think you're gonna do well. And Lisa is here, and she's putting in here. Yes, I agree. It is a different person. Amen to that. And you are right. Those are all the things that Lisa had put out in the chat room. So, but it's just you got to set your boundaries. And once you set your boundaries, I think you'll be fine. And believe it or not, you'll be able to stay there a little bit longer than what you would have to, or would need to. So, and that's a good thing, actually, because then you can find the right spot that you need to go to, or you need to get. So, Lisa, I think this is the right direction for you. Just as long as you can set your own boundaries, and this is a lesson in setting boundaries. This is a great lesson, actually, especially with someone who's so intuitive.
Definitely.
So I say, go for the gusto, sister. Go for the gusto. You can do it.
And we really appreciate you coming back and letting us know what's going on, because it's very interesting to go through and examine how situations have the potential to change.
Yes. Very much so. Very, very much so. And let's see here. We do have some more callers in the chat room. Shall we take them?
Of course.
Okay. Here we go. Not in the chat room. I mean as a caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air. How can we help you?
Hi. Good evening. My name is Carmen. And
hi, Carmen.
I'm calling regarding some interference that I've been having in between the relationship with a gentleman and myself. May I give you his name?
Sure.
His name is Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
Interference is right. It feels like he's trying to choke you to death.
Yeah.
Come again?
Feels like he's trying to choke you.
Feels like who? Someone's trying
to choke you? He's trying to choke you.
Like energetically, right? I'm getting the energy. He's trying to choke you energetically, and I feel like he is also. He's very. How to word this?
It's him, or some. I was referring to a woman interfering between us.
I'm feeling like this is within himself.
Okay.
Like I feel like he's allowing something within himself to interfere with the people around him, and it is affecting your connection with him as well.
Does he try to stifle some of your energy, as in what you think, how you think?
Well, that was the situation early this morning, and I just left the apartment this morning. I was like, something is going on spiritually, because I keep feeling it, And then I don't feel he's been in his right frame of mind anyway, because he's under a lot of stress and he's trying to get everything together. And I'm like, you need to really sharpen your noodle.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So it sounds like that he's that his stress is fueling his insecurity deep within him, and this fueling of the insecurity is causing him to change how he acts. And I mean, I've been in this place before. I understand how that feels too. And it's important for him to realize, though, that he's doing this. And the difficult thing to realize is that he needs to realize that on his own also. I guess the best thing that I would do is to let me think here for a second. Brenda, what do you think?
Well, yep, that's not a problem. For me, I feel this chokiness in my throat. Okay, it's like he's trying to stifle some words that you're trying to convey to him. He doesn't want to listen. So it's like energetically he's taking his hands around your neck and trying to stop you from talking.
Mm-hmm.
From talking the truth.
From talking the truth, because he doesn't want to hear it.
Well, the truth of the matter is that there's someone who is interfering, and I feel it, I know it. I told him, I said, I am not going to stop. I'm not going to be quiet. I mean, I don't go on and on, but I felt it so strong this morning. I thought somebody put something in this apartment. I don't know what's going on, but something is in this apartment. He was like, what are you talking about? I said, there's something in here, and it's making me want to leave.
Are you in the apartment right now?
No, in his apartment. That's why I left his apartment this morning. I'm actually home.
Okay.
I'm in my apartment. Mm-hmm.
All right, because maybe it's time to move on from this gentleman. And I say maybe, because that was a serious choke. I'm telling you, that's why I coughed a little bit, because I'm that empathic. When I tune into someone, I get that, and it's still lingering on a little bit. But it's like, okay, you got to clear that out of there. And if that's an energetic choking, guess what? You don't need to be around that, because that will manifest into a regular choking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot go and fix his apartment for him, because I don't have his permission, but I can fix you. I can fix that choking energy around you, but not him. That's something totally different.
Right. Now my question in regards to the spiritual interference, because I know I'm grateful that you took my call.
You're welcome.
There has been, thank you, there have been other women using spiritual means, because I've gotten in my dreams, I have received confirmation, and I'm like, this is part of the confusion and the craziness, and also what you're picking up is involved in that. Does that make sense to you? I mean, does it make sense? I mean, because I feel it, so I'm just sharing with you what I feel.
Well, there definitely is old wicked woman's energy, if I may say that, that was surrounding you. That's what it felt like. It was an old wicked woman's energy. Not so much anymore, though, because that was kind of cleared away when I did that. Like, okay, we need to disperse this energy. How are you feeling right now? Can you tell? You feel lighter?
I feel lighter. I don't feel as emotional as I felt earlier today, this morning.
Good. Because it's like that energy had to move out of the way so you can think clearly, and that's part of the issue when we get into other things and realms and stuff like that is other energy can affect us. You know, you're an empathic. I mean, you can control most of it, but there's stuff that's a little bit stronger than what you could handle, especially this morning. Now, is his mother still alive?
Yes. His mother is still alive, and I always tell him, you need to talk to your mom.
Yeah. Yeah, because that, I don't know, that's really weird. But it feels like an old, wicked woman's energy that was just choking you.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Wiccan or wicked?
Wicked, like wicked, like a wicked witch of the West.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
Mhm.
Was that a resignation? Was that saying, "Oh, yeah, I got that"?
Oh, yeah, I got that. I've been feeling that for quite some time. That's why when you're sharing that, I'm like, okay, confirmation.
Okay. All right, that's a confirmation. You're right. Now, have you felt it let me put it this way, since you've been around him, have you felt that?
No. That's the thing. I haven't. That's why I said something is going on, because since we first got involved, it was fine, but then things have changed, and I felt other women, he's attractive, but I'm like, whatever. The thing is, when I feel spiritual needs and I'm getting it in my dream, I'm like, oh, okay, thank you for sharing with me. Thank you, universe, and thank you, my angels, for sharing that, to let me know. They're giving me a heads up.
Yep, They are definitely giving you a heads up.
Yeah. These women
they
want
are
him.
Definitely
I'm sorry. Come again?
This is not the first time that this has happened with him. It feels like this is something that's been carried over and over and over and over again with him to stop him from having a true relationship with someone else, with other individuals as well. So this is like this individual, this wicked woman, feels like she allows something to, a relationship to start up, but once it gets to a more critical point or a serious point, then she starts to make her play. And with that, it could be that he has an attachment
on him.
Which would on him, yeah.
Right. That's what may I share with you? Do you know I shared this? I didn't say attachment, but I said there's something on you. That's pretty much what I said. Very direct. You need to get a spiritual cleansing. You need that. And I even tried to give him a spiritual bath myself.
Can't do it. You know why you can't do it? Yep, you know why you can't do it?
Will.
You betcha.
Well, yeah, so I asked. He said no. I left it alone. That was it. I didn't force myself or force my ideas. But there is something on him, and I'm like, you need to clean. I said, your way, you want things to manifest in a positive for you. You have to clean the way, because we deal with people all the time.
Yep.
You just have to.
If he doesn't want to let this thing go, and I say thing, if he doesn't want to let this thing go, there's nothing you can do except for walk away.
It feels like to me that he is completely avoiding it, like avoiding the idea that he has something attached to him. And I feel like this evasiveness is something that is very prevalent in his life. Like, it's something that he has repeated constantly when being with other people, whether it's friendships or relationships. He avoids, and this type of avoidance manifests itself into like something negative, and for me, like I feel something tar-like attached to him,
and that's what it would feel.
That's like something very sticky, and that stickiness, like be careful with that stickiness, because I mean I feel like you're aware of it, so you're okay, but that type of stickiness can like attach to you too, like it can like expand outward, and that like this can't be fixed until he sees it himself and does something about it himself.
Right. Yep, because this is an awareness that they have to come to. You know, you are probably the first one who has said outrightly that he has something attached to him. So this is going to take him a little while to adjust to it, and I wouldn't wait for that because it's going to take a very long time.
Mm-hmm. And, like, and a very important decision that you have to make also is this tar-like negativity attached to him, is this going to start affecting your life negatively? And I think that's where you need to decide whether or not you need to remove this person from your life, because I can tell you what, I've had people with the same, like, tar-like evasiveness in my life, and I've had to remove them completely because deep down, like, there's, like, spiritually, they're self-destructive. And if we don't carefully avoid that, it can merge over into us too.
It already has started. That's why I got the choking feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I got the choking feeling from you, because it already had started its process.
And you know what? Thank you, because I've seen in his eyes and his spirit that, you know, he is a good person. So it's like something takes over. And I'm like, you know, I'm looking and I'm like, see, this is why you need to cleanse. I said, you have a daughter. You don't want karmically things to happen to her.
Mm-hmm.
And his mother, she said the same thing that I say. That's what he shared with me. And I met his mom. And I know she's very in tune spiritually. Very.
Yep. Yep. The other thing, too, is if you...
Go first, Brenda.
Thank you. The other thing, too, is if you've talked to his mother, a mother's love can do a lot of stuff that we don't even realize. I mean, it's very, very potent love. And if you talk to her, let her know that this is what you feel, and as if she can do anything to help him. Because he'll listen to her more than he'll listen to you.
Right, right. Well,
so I would... Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I've been trying to see if we can meet each other again, his mother and I. And you know, he introduced me to his mom, so I would like to meet with her. But I've been praying that, you know, I know she's praying for him, because I've seen it in my dreams. So I know she's definitely praying for him and trying to help him, but I do want to reach out to her.
Because if you can connect with her and you both put your energies together to heal and to lift this negativity off of him and send love along with healing at the same time, you may have something there, and that will be a strong bond that you guys will have later on if you can do this. If not, then by all means you'll need to let it go, because it'll destroy you. That's how wicked this individual is.
What do you mean? The wicked energy? The old wicked woman?
Yep, the old wicked woman, yep. Because she's very possessive.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very possessive.
Is this also someone that I know as well, on top of the old wicked woman?
Nope.
Nope, I don't feel that at all. I sincerely feel as though that this old wicked woman energy, at least from my perspective, is something that he's allowed to manifest himself because of how avoidant and evasive he is.
Yep. So,
well, I'll definitely I'll pray up, and, you know, hopefully something's going to happen with his mom. But what about financial? Do you see the money coming in to me, for me? Because if love's not working, we all need money, right?
Yeah, we do.
I mean, let's keep it real. Like, you know, love and money are connected, but we need to eat. We need to have food on the table and a roof over our head. You know?
Okay, I'm just being told to keep going forward with that. I mean, don't let the love stop you from going forward with the money. And if you don't have it right now, you will have it within the next couple of weeks or so. Just keep going forward. I mean, if you do have it now, look for another step up with a little extra in your pocket and wallet and stuff, okay? But don't let this love thing stop you. Don't focus on that. Focus on your career. Focus on having a good life and stuff like that, and you'll do wonderful. You'll do wonderful. You have a great manifestation ability, so use it.
Thank you. Ladies, thank you for the heads up. Seriously, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Okay, it's 8:02, so we need to take a break here, and we're going to listen to some Neo, Miss Independent. We'll be right back after the break. And welcome back to Universal Journeys. I love that song. That's a great song.
Oh, me too.
Okay, our call-in number is 347-850-8292. So that's 347-850-8292. And Donnie, do you need to do some promotions?
The last promotion I have to do tonight is my own YouTube channel. If you guys are interested, if you go to YouTube and type in Donnie Winter, you'll be able to find me. I do a lot of videos about LGBTQ activism, bullying awareness. I throw some geeky things in there, and I try to have some poignant discussions about life and, you know, how we deal with things. So if you're interested in that, go visit me on YouTube. Back at you, Brenda.
Yay. All right. Yay. Okay, one thing I do want to mention before we take another caller, and we're trying to debate on when to do this. Donnie and I technically are not fortune tellers, okay? What we do is we tune into the energy around the person. And whatever is going on with that person, that is what we pick up. And we also pick up the mental aspects of that individual. So sometimes the reason that we can't get any information is because either, number one, they are blocking, or they are not in the right frame of mind to be able to do that, and that's a part of the clear up. But we do tune into the energy of the body, and the body will tell us a lot of information. Just like the last caller we had, you know, with the old wicked woman, I started to choke up, and that's exactly what I felt was choking. That's energy. You know, Donnie and I both tune into energy.
Right,
so
and
that's what we bring across.
Another important thing to realize is that the future is always changing. No matter what we do, no matter what slight action that we make, it changes the future. So, like, I just want everyone to know that, you know, we don't foresee the future necessarily. We help guide a person and give them answers to questions in order to help them make the decision that they think is right.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. With that said, we're going back to the phone line, so get ready, guys. We're going to be answering your questions. Okay, here we go. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Thank you for staying on for so long. So, hi.
My name's Holly, and I was just hoping for a message, or would you like a direct question?
Direct questions actually would work very well, because if we hope for a message, it can come from anywhere, and it might not be what you're really looking for.
I guess what's on my mind now is my ex is in the process of moving out, and I don't know, like, when will he be completely out? Because I think he has bad energy on him, too. I was thinking about that lady.
My thing with this is good for you, and for, you know, him moving out. I understand that there's a lot of emotional stuff going on there, and you wouldn't want to necessarily let him go, but this is good for you, because this opens up an opportunity for you to be free, and it feels like he had a lot of constraints or restraints around you.
Yeah.
And at times you as well for him. But this will give you an opportunity to say, whew, let me get rid of this stuff. And as I'm doing that, I'm swishing the energy away from my body, which is also swishing it away from your body. You know, and it's like, okay, now I can breathe. I'll be able to breathe. I'll be able to focus. I'll be able to do a lot of different things that you don't even think right now that you'll be able to do. Yes, you will feel a little lonely, because it's going to be a little lonely in there, you know, without having someone else there. But the toxicity from that relationship will no longer be there, so you'll be able to heal, number one. You'll be able to walk the next step forward, which is what you really need to do. And also your career, if you're in a career field, it will get better. You'll be able to focus a little more. Then you won't have all that dynamic of, all that other junk going on there.
Sorry, Brenda, that was just priceless.
Sorry, I'm an animated person, so I just get, do all the funky sounds and stuff like that. But it also gets to the point to where you understand that when I do that. So this is a blessing in disguise, because I'm telling you, once you get that energy out of there, guess what? You have a beautiful young man standing back there waiting for you to just say, here I am. But you got to clear that energy out of there first.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Did he have that energy stuck on him, or is he just a negative person?
He's a negative person.
Okay.
Honestly, I feel like this is a similar situation to the last one.
The last one I had?
No, to the last caller that was on here, because we had someone who was a very avoidant and evasive person, and it kind of manifested into something negative. And I think with him, it's a similar situation, too, because he internalizes so much that it makes him kind of act irrationally, but in an avoidant way, and that kind of irrationality is the negative aspect that really fuels a lot of what he does and what decisions he makes.
Yeah. But he's got some other stuff going on.
Bad, right?
Yes. Not good, not good stuff.
Like illegal?
Yep.
That's what I thought. I've never seen it. I'm very good at hiding it, but I keep hearing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what I feel.
I think deep down your own intuition tells you so also, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think, I have a feeling I need to get him out before they think I'm involved in whatever he's doing, to save myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep, definitely.
You got to follow that intuition.
I know, and I'm changing his address, everywhere, here and driver's license, and I'm going to change it with his green card status, just so they know he doesn't live here.
Yep.
Very good.
You didn't sponsor him.
Say again?
What was that, Brenda, dear?
You didn't sponsor him. You said he had a green card. You didn't sponsor him, did you?
Yeah. But we're legally divorced, so I don't think I'm considered his sponsor anymore. I don't really know how that works.
Okay, that's something to look at, too.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I was trying to read up on it online.
Yep, that's something to look at, too, because I'm thinking you might have some legal responsibility there. But definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely research it, because researching it could help maintain your safety. And yes. I think the important thing here is I think it's very important to give yourself a lot of credit, because you listened to your own intuition and you made a decision, even though it may have been a very difficult decision. A lot of people have a very, very difficult time doing that, and I admire your strength for being able to do that.
Absolutely.
The only thing that makes it hard is his youngest son. I just love him. So I'm going to miss him. And he's just not being treated fairly, That's the hardest part. The kids, not him.
Right. Don't be surprised if later on in life that young guy comes back to you.
I hope so.
Because you've treated him nicely and well and respected him. And kids don't forget that.
Yeah. You've definitely left an impression on that person. And this situation also shows you that this guy's negativity is influencing other people's lives, including his son. So when his son is old enough to realize and break away from that, that's when he'll come back to you and reconnect with you.
Oh, I can't wait.
And thank you. Oh, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
You are most welcome, Holly.
Okay.
You're most
welcome.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's go to the next caller. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, it's Sarah. How are you all doing?
Hi, Sarah.
Good. How are you?
Oh, great. It's a very great show. I'm really enjoying it.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really. What I'm calling about, I'm having issues with my family involving my grandchildren, my daughters, and at this moment, I put everybody on call block. I have to save myself before I can help anyone else. But it's such a negative energy with them regarding me. I feel like legally, I'm trying to find out legally to sever myself from them because I feel as though I've brought the enemy into the world. I don't know if I'm talking from hurt emotion, so I'd like to have some insight on that, please.
Well, I gotta say is wow. That's nothing to laugh at. Is like wow, because it's really deep. This is interesting stuff here.
Yeah.
It does feel that you're right about stepping away and protecting yourself from the negative energy. I don't know if I would go as far as bringing, this darkness or evil into the world, just because of the way they're being. And it is part of the manipulative energy that is causing some of this stuff. Now, how is the father?
Well, the one at present is multiple fathers involved, and they're not involved. And the mother and the grandmother, they're just letting the children just be wherever, and they rather them not be with me. My health is not optimum, but I'm praying and believing healing that I would be able to deal with more than I could deal with, really. But rather than just see them going from pillar to post, and I'm just, oh.
This is, I'm seeing you take a step back with your right foot. It's like, okay, and when you do that, if you're standing straight up, and you take a step back with your right foot, I also see you kind of like putting your head down and saying, okay, I'm done with this. I have to back away for a little while. And when you do that, you, like a boundary that we talked about earlier, you're putting up that boundary and you're saying, I'm done. I'm not going to deal with this the way that you want me to deal with this. I have to step back to figure it out how I can proceed to go forward if I want to proceed to go forward. If things will need to change. But you need to step back for self-preservation. And when you step back, you're going to be healing yourself and the people around you more than what you realize. You'll be affecting them more than what you realize when you do step back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're setting an example. I think that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Okay. That's confirmation. That's the way I feel, because if I, it just gets messy moving forward. I guess it's lessons we all must learn in this process, but we must maintain our own integrity and respect of self, so I can't allow myself to be disrespected any further. It's insane.
Right. And what I'm finding out with this year brings a lot of different stuff into play for many, many of us. And that is another aspect that is teaching us is, okay, we have to step out of the mode, even though the Pope says otherwise, we have to step out of the mode of helping people because we have to help ourselves now. We have to have self-preservation. Doesn't mean that we can't help other people, but when we begin to help ourselves, to heal, to love, to have joy, to have a better life, whatever, then we're more prepared inside and outside to be able to help others at a limited space, because we as human beings, we're always taught by stuff like that to give. But now it's changing a little bit. It's like, wait a minute, we have to start giving to ourselves, because when we give to ourselves, we have more energy and time and love and everything else that we can give to other people. But because we've depleted our own selves, we can't do that to the potential or the capacity we once did. So now the energy is focused on us. We have to take care of us now and afterwards so that we can help others. And the main focus is taking care of ourselves.
Exactly.
When you take care of yourself, and when you get to that optimal energy that you need to be able to focus, to be able to do things and stuff like that, then you can help other people. But only so much, because they have to learn to do the same thing that you did. These are lessons they have to learn now. You can't learn their lessons. You can't take on their lessons anymore. You have your own to do, and this is one of the lessons that you have to do.
Okay. All right. Is there this energy against mothers, dealing with daughters, their children? I mean, is it just me, or is it more people having that?
More people's having it, because we've gotten to the point that we give so much to the youth that it's being detrimental to the youth, because we're doing this give stuff, and we're not teaching our youth anything. We're just giving it to them.
Wow.
We have to realize that sometimes they need to learn things for themselves and learn how to help themselves first.
Okay.
And because they've been given so much, and when you start to pull back, they're going to retaliate, and they're going to throw temper tantrums, and they're going to yell and scream, and they're going to do this. Some of that stuff too is going through puberty. When the young people go through puberty, they do this. They have to stretch their muscles to see what they can do, how far they can go, and everything. The young boys will do it with the fathers. The young girls will do it with the mothers, and stuff like that. It's showing their strength or power to do whatever they do. But we as parents and adults, we give in to that because we don't want to hear them yelling and screaming and everything else, and they keep nagging. And really, it's like, stop right there. When you put your foot down and get them to do what they need to do so they can manifest their own stuff, then you got something going on. But we've been this type of, people or adults that we just give to them because we didn't have it.
Wow.
It's okay to give, but it's okay to also say, all right, this is what you'll need to do in order to be able to receive this. And once you do that, then they learn. I mean, sometimes you can't teach people like that, or that lesson, but for the most part, you can. So it's happening all over the place.
They want to make me seem like I'm the bad guy. It's like there's something wrong with me, and everybody's sane, and I'm insane.
Yeah. But something, you're not the bad guy. And they do that because they know that if you feel guilty enough, you're going to give in.
And that guilt that they see validates how they feel, too, which makes them feel right.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I'm sick and tired of the insanity, so I'm jumping off the train.
There you go. Get off that wagon and say, nope, I'm done. See you later. Have a good day. Figure this out on your own.
It takes a lot of strength to be able to do that. It takes a lot of strength.
It does.
Well, I got it. After you get through being talked to, I mean, you make all these sacrifices. And, I look at where I am economically because of them, and then they're going to talk to me like this. Yeah. And they rather the children places, I mean, it's like they're possessed, that they would rather have their children in an environment that's not conducive to morality than to have them with me, and there's something wrong with me.
Right. You know, the other thing, too, is sometimes, and this is going to be an interesting concept, and most people will think, that's not right, that's not right. But children are born into families to learn from lessons from that family, okay? Be it whether or not it's in a condition of rundown or whatever. Because sometimes, just sometimes, those individuals who are in those conditions, especially the young people, will see that they don't want to be in that type of thing. And then what will happen is when they get older, they'll strive to get out of there and to strive to be better. You also have those who don't give a hoot to boot, and they'll live in the same way. That's still a lesson. These are all lessons that we have to learn. You know, and the one who makes it out, if we teach them the right thing to do when that happens and they're able to get out, is to teach them to come back to help others get out too. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. But these are all lessons that these young people are born into with the families that they're born to.
I'm glad you're saying that, because I know I heard that before. I just need to hear that reiterated.
You're welcome.
That we chose our families.
Yeah, we do.
And
we definitely do.
Well, thank you. I'd like to hear you elaborate more on that when you get time. Thank you.
You're welcome. So that's, I mean, it's just, you do. I mean, I can tell you, I grew up in a poor family. I grew up in a family that worked on a farm, didn't make very much money, didn't have a whole lot, and I was one of those kids. My sister was one of those kids, too, that said, okay, we're going to do it a little bit differently than Mom and Dad did. Mom and Dad loved us. You know, we had what, you know, they could afford to give us, and really we didn't think that we were poor at that particular time, which is a different mindset, too, because other people around us were in the same type of situation. But as we got older, we also realized that, hey, we want more. And my sister had children. I did not. But my sister had children. And so she came up with this thing, which my parents did too, because they didn't have very much when they grew up. They gave us what they could give, more than what they had. And my sister did the same thing. This is where I observed all of this other stuff that went on, because the more you give the child when they're growing up, because you didn't have it when you were growing up, it seems to take away something from that child. Instead of working for what they get and giving, and then they get things just out of because they get things, you know, they don't seem to have the same respect that those that do work for what they receive. So you know, that's a first-hand experience. For me, what this did for me, because I didn't have children, is I was able to see the dynamics of everything that went around me or goes around me. And I see that I'm bettering myself because I want a better life for myself. And at the same time, I can help other people around me to do better, give them insight, to help them up. Do I give money? No, not normally. Every once in a while I do. But if they have to have a certain criteria for me to be able to say, okay, you know, I'm going to help you out here because I see that you're a hard worker and you really deserve this and you're trying. You are literally trying to make it. So I'm going to help you with this monetarily. Those other ones who do not show that or do not respect that, they may get my advice, okay? 9 times I will try to help them with certain advices and kind of guide them in different ways. If they don't heed it after I've done it for several times, I'm done. I back away. Because then I'm wasting my time and my energy on someone who does not want to make it better for themselves. That's where I draw the line.
Right. That's awesome.
Does it make me heartless? To some people, yes, it does. To other people, they're very grateful because they come back and say, if you didn't do what you did for me then, I would not be the person I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same way for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad you're saying this because I was thinking, as Nina Simone had a song, she said, once I lived my life as a millionaire, spending my money, I just didn't care. Then one day I began to go so low, I had no friends and no place to go. Nobody wants you when you're down and out. When you're down and out. And so now that I'm not at that plateau anymore, it's a whole different the way people treat you, and especially my children. And if I had the money that I once had, it was, whatever I said, okay, flip, boom. But now, it's like they're mad at me but that was because I wasn't wise and I was just lavishing upon them everything I always wanted to do that wasn't able. And now that I'm not able, I see exactly what you're saying. And you really devalue people giving them things that they don't really work for. They don't appreciate it.
No, they don't. They don't. But,
so then when
they're...
Go
ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, with this recognition, with this confirmation and everything else, I do feel you coming out of this on the opposite side and saying, hey, I can make it too. After all that setback, I can have some stuff for me.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're going to have that.
Yes, thank you. Confirmation. I was having this self-talk within myself, and the Great Mother was showing me that. So I really appreciate your show. It's good for when you don't think, when you think outside the box, there's not too many people you can talk to. I'm not looking for a pity party. Just some rationale, because, most people don't think like I think or feel, and that's because I'm in the world, not of it.
There you go. I like that. So true.
Yeah, Dr. Barbara. So I really appreciate you and Winter, I can't say your first name, doing your show. Donnie. Thank you so much.
You.
Because we need a place to go and reflect and have some dialogue to maintain who we are, because the world is not ready for where we are and what we see, and it's not the norm. So you'll be deep down. You won't have friends. And it's all right. It's all right. I just want to need to this space to not be me, and love, light, respect, integrity. And I want to. And one of the things it let me see who are the people who are really in my corner. And I'm seeing things now with all the things that they're saying that if this.
Did we lose you?
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, I was going to say, Sarah, did we lose you?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah,
hello?
I can hear you now. So like you cut right off of there, but.
Okay. So the intent. So a lot of what I'm seeing out of this now and talking to you all is that when you have these situations, you're able to see people for who they really are that you never would have seen had a disagreement not come up. So disagreements are really blessings because you really...
They are, especially if we look at it as blessings.
Yes. Everything is a blessing, really. We just can't see it because we're not taught to think like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, looking at this, some things came out of their mouths today, and I was saying, oh, my goodness. Thank you. You know, because that was freedom. Every rule, you know, remark they made, they freed me. You know, I said, oh, I can move back. I can go back. I don't have to hold on. I think it's the perception that because you're a parent, you got to stand there and take all that.
Yeah.
But when you know, respect for yourself, you know, because we're gods and knowing who you are, you just stand back. You can't talk to me like that because I don't talk to you like that. And I'm not going to be around people who are not going to respect me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you set your boundaries. You know, parents, just like everyone else, have to learn to set their boundaries. They're like, that's enough. I don't treat you like that. You're not going to run over me. And, you know, we have to set these boundaries. We have to set these rules. And when you do, that shocks them, and they may go off in tantrum, have a little temper tantrum and say, oh, you don't care, or oh, blah, 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 you're not a good person, or whatever. But they learn from that if you continue to do that. You know, that might be a slow process at first, but, you know, they start to learn. Like, I can't do that to Mom, okay, or I can't do that to Dad. But we can't always give in. My parents didn't always give in.
Right.
You know, and they were great teachers. They didn't know what the heck they were doing either. That's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, parents don't know what they're doing. It's like, hey, we have to learn this as we go. I mean, there's no book really out there to tell you all the ins and outs and the things that pop up and everything else. Is like, hey, give us credit. You know, at least we're learning.
And the beauty of this is years down the road, the children are going to realize that you are respecting yourself by doing this, and that's going to help them learn how to respect themselves in the future as well.
Yeah. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We love you too.
Keep doing the show because, you know, be grounded. And because I was thinking today, I said, Lord, I don't have nobody to talk to about this. And then there you all came.
Well, you know, and thanks for following your guidance, too. Thanks for following your guidance with that. I have to give you credit for that, too.
All right. I appreciate you all. All right. Thank you.
All right.
I'm still listening.
Thanks, Sarah.
Okay.
Have a great day.
All right.
Thanks.
You too.
Bye.
Thanks. Okay, on to the next caller. Thanks, Sarah, for coming in, by the way. Let's see. Hello, caller. Hi. How are you?
Oh, great. I just had a question.
Of course.
Yeah, I was curious. Did y'all, if you sensed any kind of energy or anything in my house as far as that goes? Like if there's any kind of negative energy or whatever, if you could sense that.
Are you at your house right now?
Yes.
Okay. I sense an energy, but not necessarily a negative energy. Okay, I sense a little child, actually a little boy.
Oh.
And with the little boy, you know, little boys, little girls, someone who hasn't really matured enough to to understand things, they can cause havoc. They can cause like temper tantrums, which would feel like negative energies, and like, why won't you listen to me type of deal, or you know, something like that, or pull pranksters. Yeah, that's kind of what the
like
energy
anything that could make me sick.
Good, you betcha. But there's other things there too that could make you sick, other than just say a little boy or other beings. And we talked a little bit about this the last show in ley lines. If there's a negative ley line there, or a backwards ley line, which I'm going to just call it right now, that could also cause some issues with your health.
Right.
You got a 2-story house?
No.
Do you happen to know if there was a 2-story house there before this particular house was there, or?
No, there's one next door.
Okay.
Interesting.
Because
I just feel like there's something affecting my energy.
Yeah, I would say there is definitely.
I'm also feeling vulnerability, and if this is like a child energy in this house, that would also explain the vulnerability too. And sometimes a person an energy that has like this vulnerable feel to it has a way of kind of attaching itself to another person's vulnerability too, and often vulnerability can run us down and make us sick. We may not even realize that we're feeling vulnerable either, but that sense can kind of wreak havoc on our bodies.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah, the other thing, too, is if you don't realize it or not, or if you realize it or not, you're a sensitive. Okay, you're very sensitive to energies. Okay. Now, I don't know the people who live in that 2-story house or whomever lived in that 2-story house, but there's a lot of negative energy that comes out of that house.
The 2-story house, really?
Yeah. There's a lot of negative stuff that comes out of the house. And you're right, it is just like that. Ew. Now, if you were looking at your front door, okay, as you're outside, you're looking at your front door, you're facing your house, you're looking at your front door, is the 2-story house to your right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. So, this is
I know
what I
the
did
couple,
for
and
you.
I think the guy's a little strange.
Okay, well, yeah. Anyhow, this is what I did for you. I put up an energy shield that will stay there for as long as you stay in that house, so that's what I intended to do. You should start feeling better because I stopped the energy from overflowing into your life and into your house.
So it's not who I'm living with?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
You'll
have
haven't felt this.
You'll have some stuff from that individual that you're living with because that's always what happens. Okay, but this energy that you're feeling or that I was feeling, and this is the thing with what I do. Okay, if you start talking, I feel the energy that's very prominent in your life, no matter if it's coming from you, outside of you, or whatever. And I will be drawn to what the cause is, okay? And if the cause was going to be the person that you were living with, I would have picked up on that. That was not the case with you. The case was I picked it up from this house because I got the 2-story house. That's why I asked you about it.
Yeah.
Okay? Because then what I could
work and everywhere else, but when I get here, it starts slow, and then by the end of the weekend, I feel like crap.
Yep, because it's drawing on your energy. So, and I work with angels and guides and stuff like that. So when I see those things, I'm guided to those things, they tell me what I need to do to protect that individual. Now, I may not be able to go into that 2-story house and change the energy in there, which I don't want to because that's their stuff. But what I can do and what I did do and what I was guided to do is put up that energy field that will protect you from that negative energy and from coming over and, permeating your area.
Right.
Okay. Right now, by talking to us, you should already start to feel an upliftment of energy. It may be subtle, but it's still... Okay. So this is a confirmation, not only just because you're talking to us, but because of that energy field that stops that siphoning of your energy.
Yeah, it's like I feel completely dead of energy after a while. It's bad.
Yeah, because they suck it out. They siphon it. It's that energy is siphoned.
See, when you were explaining it to me, I felt as though this energy was almost spilling over into your house and was like drowning you in it.
And
yeah, like
now, and now that Brenda created this shield, now you'll be able to fill up your own house with your own energy, which will help uplift you considerably and build your health back up.
Well, I'm going to be moving probably around August. I mean, my energy will get better after that, won't it?
Yes, but you also have to learn to block energy. That negative energy, you have to learn to block it out.
Yeah, I don't know how. I've tried. I smudge, all kinds of stuff, and I can't keep it away from me. It's weird.
Okay, so you know what I just explained how to do the energy thing. It's like I put up this energy wall. Okay? When you start feeling energy, negative energy from you, from any thing, place, people, whatever, put up an energy wall between you and them, or you and it. Thick wall. Very, very thick wall. Okay? All you have to do is imagine it. And then it'll start to, and this is something that you'll have to build up with strength and more. But just put that wall up. It's like, oh, nope, not pulling my energy. Okay, this is what you can have. You know, the divine guide or the divine light of God's energy, that's what I use for my wall. It's like, okay, you can use that, but not me. You're not taking my energy from my space or my person.
So you're sure it's not coming from my own body?
No, it's not. Because if it was, like I said earlier, I would have been able to tune into that, or they would have guided me to you instead of the house.
Okay, thank God. I'm sorry. It just worries me.
I know. But because you're an empathic, and you're very sensitive, the same thing, you're going to pick up on these things. But you need to protect yourself with energy of the divine source, the divine guidance, the divine source of the energy from God, the God energy.
Right, yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Well, thank you for that information.
You're welcome. You feel better, too, now, don't you? I feel you feel better.
Oh, I do. Yeah, thank you so much. I really, truly do.
Okay. Don't worry about that shield or that energy shield that's there, because like I said or mentioned, once you leave there, it's just going to dissipate. You don't have to worry about it. It's going to be there as long as you're there.
Yeah, because once I go to work, I'm fine. It's so weird. Yep. Then when I get here, I feel like I'm like slowly dying or something. It's horrible.
Yep.
It's very strong. I can't even explain it.
Yep. It shouldn't bother you for the rest of the time that you're going to be there. The rest of the time that you live there, it shouldn't bother you. I had help doing it. I didn't do it myself, but I did have help doing it, and I thank the guides and the angels and stuff like that for helping out. They'll make sure that it stays strong for you while you're there.
Are they like energy vampires over there, or what's going on?
I would say there's more than just that going on. It feels like there's a big dark hole there, like a vortex of some sort.
Yeah, that would make sense for sure. Oof. It's a nice neighborhood. It's just a feeling, a horrible feeling.
Yep.
It's this area, I guess.
Yep. And that's how it is. That's how it is sometimes. And obviously you're guided to call here for a reason, and this is the reason. So just keep going, and just learn to strengthen your protection mode around you, and go forward. You'll do well.
All right, I'm going to work on that. Thanks.
You're welcome. So, is there anything else?
Oh, no, I think that'll do it. Thank you.
Yay.
Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
And I really do feel better. Like, I was like a 3 when I called, and now I feel like I'm about an 8.
Good.
Yay, that's a good.
Very good.
Y'all have a good night.
You too, thank you. Okay, so those are some of the things, and like I mentioned earlier, we don't necessarily do fortune telling, but we do help out in situations like this and give guidance, because things change. Like Donnie said, things change all the time. You know, we can give you information and it's going to change. It changes when we're talking to you. I mean, I see it. Donnie, I know Donnie sees it too. Starts to change. So whether or not it changes right away, or it changes and you bring it back because that's where you want to be at, that's up to you. But we do a lot of different things. Fortune telling is, unfortunately or unfortunately, not one of our fortes. I mean, we can see things, but we...
That was a pun, Brenda.
What?
I said that was a pun, Brenda. Fortunately.
Oh, was it? Okay. It just came out. What can I say?
Sorry. I just had to mention it.
Yeah, that's okay. But, you know, you have to give yourselves credit, too, for when you call in, there's a reason that you call. And it just isn't because we're available and you are guided. You are guided to contact us. And there's a reason. And the thing is if you can open up enough to get what we're trying to give you, the information, you're going to do wonderful. It's going to be great, just like this last caller. You know, this is something I do. I can sit here and I can see what's around you and see what is actually causing an issue with you. I mean, that is a forte I have. So that's what I do.
And you love it.
I do. I like helping people. But you know, you have to be willing to take the advice and do something about it, because we can give you information and advice. If you don't do anything about it on your own, there's nothing that anybody can do about it or with that. It really is up to you. You have power.
Exactly. And I mean, like you were saying, people need to give themselves credit for the power that they have. And the singular difficulty that I've noticed is that most people don't recognize their own capabilities. I can guarantee you that most of the callers that we get talk about some form of intuition that they have that told them that basically gave them the answer in a way. We just serve almost as confirmation for their own intuition. And it's in a lot of instances. So, I mean, it's important for people to understand and realize that you do have an intuition and that it's important to listen to it. You may think it's a voice that's just telling you something mindless, but it's really there. It's really there.
And really, all we are here to do is to confirm what you already know. That's it. That's basically it. And to help out situations like this last one with the situation. I mean, we can do that from a distance. That's for me. That's easy.
Definitely.
So, and also you just got to know those things.
Oh, this has been a good evening. I love it.
I do too. It's really cool. So,
you know, it's like, I love the point that you brought up, that people were drawn to this, to calling and asking a question for a reason. And like, a lot of people don't realize that they make decisions based on their intuition. Like, if they understood that they consciously consult themselves intuitively before they do things, then they'll be like, oh, this is why this is happening, you know?
Yep.
And, I mean, even I have instances today where things happen, I make decisions, but I don't realize that, you know, I actually did consult my intuition about it. And afterward, I realized, oh, I really did listen to myself. I did, you know, confer with my intuitive side. in order to make that decision. And I guess the truth is, and we've talked about this in previous videos. Oh my goodness, I'm so used to YouTube. In previous shows, that if we don't respect our intuition and listen to it, I mean, our intuition weakens, and I mean, it almost becomes non-existent if we don't listen to it.
Well, it's because it doesn't want. I mean, it says, "Okay, I'm here for you" and stuff like that. But if you're not going to listen to me, why bother? I mean, that's basically what it is. I've learned that. It's like, okay, as an individual, if I'm giving you information and stuff like that, I give it to you so that you can take it, run with it, do what you need to do with it. But if you're not going to do this over and over and over again, I have to stop. I have to stop helping you. Because it's only wasting my energy and it's depleting me. And, it's not helping me nor you. So why keep going? And that's one thing that I make sure that if someone comes to me for a reading or help and stuff like that, I make sure that they are not return or repeat individuals. Because, I'm giving you this information, go do what you need to do, and that is it. Now, does that mean that you can't come back and ask questions? No, that doesn't mean that at all. Because you can,
But if they're the same questions, but if they're the same exact questions, then that is when we realize that it's a repeat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's like, got 90 seconds left. And I know we have one caller we have another caller. Let's try to get this one in here for a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Oh, that caller just dropped, so we don't have to worry about that now.
It was the thought that counted.
Sure. So, but, and it's still, I mean, if you want to know something, legitimately you want to know something, just like all of our callers, majority of our callers today, wanted to know, then by all means, give us a call because we can help you out. Take it with you, open up, do what you need to do. Follow your heart. That's exactly why I named this, with this phrase, follow your heart, for only you know which path is right for you. You have to take responsibility for your own actions, your own life, your own dealings, okay? When you do that, you're following your own heart. If you're guided to go and do something different, you're following your heart, okay? Very, very important. Very, very important. So, with that said, guys,
give me goosebumps.
Thank you for coming on the show tonight. We love to have you. Next week we're going to be doing 10 seconds. Next week we're going to be doing twin flame. So have a great weekend, everybody.